Today on the Girl with Peter Spirit podcast, I'm talking to my wash belly, Michael, aka Ash. Hey, Ashy.
Hello.
I love the face that you make when I say that. Oh my goodness. You know, the last time we were talking, you said it was the first time, the last time, but here you are again, because you know your mother.
No, I didn't say it was the first and the last time. I said it definitely won't be the first time and the last time.
Oh, it won't be the first and last time. Okay, I'm glad you knew that. It's funny how we're both dressed up in jacket. I mean, in Jamaica, it's either hot or hot. No, it's not cold. It's either hot or hot. But you know, when the temperature drops to 70 degrees, we dress up like we're expecting snow. That's hilarious. I mean, look at me. Oh, it couldn't be warmer. Yeah, and it's like about 70 degrees, you know? So, anywho, we want to talk about music. And I try to like shy away from hot topics and what everybody else is talking about because, you know, sometimes you don't want to be involved in the controversy. But I'm talking about this today because of a dream that you had. But let me preface that by saying that since you guys became teenagers, you know, like 13, 14 or whatever, I wasn't so... Well, you give me that look. It's later than that. Like,
No, you were on my case till like 15.
Okay, so correction. Okay.
Even when I was 17.
Even when you were 17.
Yeah.
So let's. Okay, so I was like 13. Okay, you know, here I was thinking I was a cool mom or something, and I'm here being all
Controlling.
being all controlling. Okay, yeah. So it wasn't until you were 17. Oh yeah. Well, you know. That's how it goes. I have to admit I'm a little overprotective. I'm trying to let go. It's hard, but I know I'm going to have to eventually. Yeah, because if I don't cut the navel string, you're going to cut it. I prefer that you don't cut it because then no, you won't talk to me for 5 years. You know, because something happened and you're just like, okay, goodbye, mother. So I don't want that. So I try to give you a bit of rope and hope you don't hang yourself. You know what? I live for these looks. I heard you and your sister today saying that a lot of things I say is just for reaction, and you're so right. I do say things get a rise onto you guys and to see your faces because your expressions are always priceless. But anyway, so what I was saying is that I kind of monitored you very closely until you were about 17 because I thought, like, you know, if you're 17 years old, that's a good amount of training that you've had. You know, and I'd imagine that you'd stick to whatever training that you got. What's that look? Like, no? That's wishful thinking? What?
No comment.
What? What do you mean, no comment?
What else does no comment mean?
Oh, my goodness.
No comment means no comment.
Oh, that's not cool. I mean, I was here, like, thinking, you know, I did a good job, did a bang-up job.
No, it was great.
Right.
Amazing.
Wow.
10 out of 10.
Really? Oh, I'll take that. What? A big fat 0 and you
No,
say...
that was a 10.
Really? Where was the 1?
I just put my hand down too fast for you to see it. It was
Oh, no. No, you're kind of like, you're kind of cloning me. I don't like that.
No, it was a 10.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. You have to watch the footage of it.
Okay, well, I'll do that. Yeah. But anywho, as I was saying, I figured that with the training that you got, I could trust you with your music and stuff that you watch and, you know, internet traffic and all of that. I know the kind of music that you listen to. I mean, to me it's not music, but anywho, you know, the 80s and the 90s were all the jam. And yeah, so no, the rap stuff that you listen to, like, and then one word, you know, at the end, you know, loco, and then moco, and I'm like, what is that? I'm like, these raps make no sense to me. You know, even though I'm not for that, I still tried my best, like, not to, like, be like, oh, don't listen to that, and whatever. And being Christian it's hard because as a Christian parent, I want to censor what you're listening to, what you're watching. It's so funny because, like, it was just the other day that you went on to, like, was it Disney? And you're like, Mom, why is there still a code, right?
Yeah.
And why is it that I can only watch PG stuff? Not even PG-13.
It was Netflix.
Oh, it was Netflix. Yeah.
And
no, but this code was on Disney as well. You're the one who took it off because I didn't know how to take it off.
There was a code, but it was only on your profile.
Oh, it was only on my profile, but
then
Netflix was on your profile.
Netflix was like PG.
It wasn't even PG-13.
And I was 18.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I'm kind of overprotective. I guess I deserve that 0. But anywho, I guess it kind of came with the being Christian. It came with the territory because it's like, wanting to guard you guys from the world and being influenced by the world and the things of the world. So I wanted you to listen to wholesome music, What is with that? It's like whenever I see you get your earphone, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like what is he listening to? Because it's stuff I can't hear. Like your brother was playing some music and you're like, oh dude, you might not want to play that. And then I realized it was because I was there in the kitchen. I'm like, what are these guys listening to? What are you guys listening to? Yeah, I don't want to know.
We'll never know.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it was so funny, like the first time you put a password on your phone, because I always was checking your phone. Like, you'd be on the internet and I'd be walking by, and you'd be talking to your friends. I'm like, trying to listen to see
as if I didn't notice the door was just conveniently left open.
Yes, well, you were good about not like calling me out on a lot of stuff. You were pretty cool about that, which I appreciated. You didn't make me feel bad, but I realized at some point that I had to step back a little bit and you gotta make your own decisions in life, because when you reach a certain age, I don't have any control. But I realized that sometimes when Christians talk about certain types of music and movies and stuff like that, people kind of get annoyed and go, oh, well, it's not that serious. Like, it's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever had that attitude towards anything I've said to you?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, a lot of things.
Really? A lot of things, like it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I would have hoped that like you would step back, because I tend to want to see things from a spiritual point of view a lot of the times. I'd say maybe 90% of the times. I remember somebody said to me that you're too heavenly minded and you're not earth minded enough. And I was kind of offended, yeah, because like, what are you saying? Like, I'm kind of detached from reality.
Who said that?
It was a total stranger. We're just in a conversation about Christianity and about God. And then I guess the way I was talking was way too deep. So he was like, you're too heavenly minded. You're not earth minded enough. No, like, but what kind of music do you listen to?
So I mostly listen to hip hop, which has its fair share of, would we say, filth?
Okay. I'd hope you listen to the clean versions.
When they have them.
Yeah, well, that's true. They don't always. And I feel that even when there are clean versions, you don't always listen to the clean versions. But, Anywho.
No comments.
But like, hip hop. But you do listen to rap too, right?
Yeah, hip hop is rap.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was I? I thought rap was rap and hip hop was hip hop.
No, hip hop is rap.
So what's like the Backstreet Boys?
He's
like,
know.
Who are the Backstreet Boys?
No, I know the name, but that's, it's kind of like foreign language, that old text.
Oh my gosh.
Reading.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't heard this in a while.
Oh wow. Okay. So,
Blow off the dust off of the book.
Oh my gosh. So rap is under the hip hop genre. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for educating me. I remember there's this one artist in particular that you listen to a lot of his stuff. And this one particular artist, why were you so into his music?
I'd say probably the same reason that every other normal person would be into his music, which is like, from an outside perspective, he seemed down to earth. Mm-hmm. He's funny. Mm-hmm. And seemed like a quote-unquote typical nerdy guy that just made it rich. So,
So
then
like,
he seems relatable to the average person.
to the average person and to you, because you're kind of like, yeah.
I'm what?
Because you're kind of like,
No, go ahead.
you're kind of,
I'm kind of what?
you're kind of a little nerdy. Nerdy's not bad. Why do people make nerdy to be bad?
I don't think it's bad, but it's just, you know, you had some hesitation in saying it. You know, I was like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, because you know, I don't know how you're gonna take it. You know, I don't want you to be offended. Cause nerdy's not. I mean,
No.
like I feel like nerdy kind of is a bit eccentric, and I'm eccentric. I mean, maybe not in the same way you are, but there are dimensions to people and layers. But I feel like you know a lot of stuff about stuff that some people don't know about or care about, and so yeah, you're your friends. Like I'm pretty like impressed sometimes when I hear y'all talking when I'm eavesdropping around the corner. Yeah, making sure that you're good. Yeah, but this one person, yeah, you were really into this person until you had a dream, and this is pretty recently. So what happened in that dream?
So the dream started off with me seeing some sort of weird imagery. Right, it was like a vision. So first kind of imagery, and then secondly was like a vision of people like chanting in like masks and robes and stuff. And then I saw an image of an artist pop up.
Of the same artist we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Same artist. And so I saw an image, and then the scene switched to your room. And then I walked out by the staircase, and I went to Nathan. And I think we were talking. Oh, the lights were flickering. So I went to him and said, "Oh, what's going on? Do you see this?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know what's happening." So we both walk out back to the stairway from his room back to the staircase. And then as I look down, I see a pot.
A cauldron?
Not a cauldron, but a pot. A sizable pot. That is... Oh, by the way, there was noise. Like lights flickering, pans crashing, water running. You hear the tap running, everything.
So chaos and confusion.
Yeah, chaos. Right? And then even utensils flying around as well.
Really? Wow.
And then, so went, got him, was like, what is this? Came back, staircase, and as we were looking at the bottom of the staircase, saw a pot with arms and legs, and it started walking up the stairs.
Oh my goodness. That's so crazy.
Towards us.
At first when I heard it, I was like, okay, you know, some of it sounded a little bit nightmarish, but I know sometimes like dreams, you'll have important stuff that gets mixed up with stuff that's kind of not so important. It's discernment, or it's the Holy Spirit speaking to you that has to let you know what parts of the dream to pay attention to, because that has happened to me, where it's just a huge dream where some of it is just nonsense and then some of it is important. Yeah? So what was important was the fact that this person was mixed up in some kind of occult practice, right? With the chanting and then for the weird stuff that started happening in the house, and then for, you know, like the cauldron with the body parts and stuff like that. That's really, really, really freaky. And so what did you do because of that?
Well, in the dream I called you.
Yeah. Oh,
as I would in real life.
Yeah.
The dream I called you.
Called me overprotective.
And then you said something about praying, and then it was the pot was kind of getting close, a little bit, making me a little bit uncomfortable, dare I say. So I was about to rebuke it, then I woke up.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because that part of it might seem like, oh, it's like cartoonish or like kind of like weird, but the cauldron symbolizes a lot of stuff, and it is to me witchcraft or darkness or the occult. And so that pot, I feel like coming towards you means that you're getting sucked in to whatever is going on with this person and whatever he's involved in. By listening to his music, you're getting sucked into that culture, that occultist culture, because you're listening to his music, and so that's what was coming for you, you know, that yeah, like you would have been just
none the wiser.
Yeah, none the wiser, because you didn't know, but then you would have been caught. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I feel like sometimes there's a point of no return with certain things. If you continue to invite certain things into your life, certain doors are open. It's like you didn't see what was coming for you, and so you saw it, and in the form of like, well, the practices and whatever they were involved with, and the cauldron symbolizes that, the darkness and the witchcraft and the evil, and for it to be chasing you, you didn't realize that listening to this music is the evil chasing you. You understand? You're about to get caught. And the thing about it is that God is not going to allow that to happen to his children. We're not going to call any names because I don't have defamation insurance. But yeah, we're not going to do names.
Yeah, and the funny thing is this wasn't even an artist that I listened to a whole lot.
Yeah.
Although
but God is saying one time is too many. Yeah. One time, because sometimes all it takes is once. Yeah. And this goes for a lot of things. All it takes is one time, yeah, and you're caught. So, yeah, God wasn't going to allow it because he protects us from going astray in any sort of way. And sometimes when you get trapped by that kind of world, that darkness, by the occult, it is hard to let loose. It's easy to get caught, but it's hard to cut loose from that. Yeah? So, yeah, and I thought it was pretty amazing that God did that. That, you see, he's interested in every single aspect of our lives. Christian people will have reactions to music and to movies and stuff like that. Like, what would you think about that? Like some of the reactions out there to stuff like that.
Well, I'd probably be on the side of people, originally be on the side of people being like, oh, you're kind of overthinking it a little bit. But it's not because...
that deep.
Sometimes I'd be like, oh, well, that is fishy. But there's a good amount of times where I wouldn't think about it too much. It's not even like I would argue with people and say it's not that deep, but it's more of a willful ignorance, or you just don't give it too much. You don't entertain the thought too much.
Oh, like you hear it, but you don't really hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you choose to ignore it. Yeah.
You hear it, but you don't stay on it. You don't think on it.
So let me ask you something. So if I was the one who had heard this artist, and you know his stuff is good and whatnot, or you know, I feel like it's deep and it's meaningful and it's whatever, but or if the Holy Spirit said to me, hey, there's something's wrong with this artist, and I came to you, how would you respond?
I mean, if I was a regular person, I'd probably be like, you know, it's nice, it's fine, and just, you know, just not flayed around you. But knowing what I know, I actually probably would have listened. Yeah. And now I would definitely listen. Yeah. But even
since God showed you himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty cool. Like when you have a relationship with God where you hear him, or where like so you hear him when he's talking to you, or like he and he meets you where you are. So he definitely does. And so like sometimes, like for me, he knows that if he just tells me maybe I'm gonna be like stubborn or whatever, so he'll give me a dream that I'll actually pay attention to. He'll speak to me in a way that I'll pay attention. And for you, seeing that for yourself, hearing the chanting and the stuff going wild, the pots, the pans, everything flying around, and then to see the cauldron that represented darkness and black magic and witchcraft, to see that coming for you, you realize now that you would have been caught unawares listening to this music thinking that, oh, it's nothing, when this person is all wrapped up in darkness, and you get sucked in unawares.
I was even comparing him to another artist. So there's another artist that had recently put out a body of work as well, which was way more obvious, I'd say.
Obvious in terms of what? Darkness?
In terms of the agenda that was being pushed.
Alright, and what was that agenda, you feel?
It was just not good. It was just a facade, basically. But like an easy to see through one. Like for that specific artist. Knowing
well, for you though. But maybe not easy to see through for people who are out in the world. Like you know what I mean? Because when you're blind, you're just blind.
Yeah, 100%. When I say easy to see through, I don't mean for the everyone in general. Just
Christians.
But specifically for Christians, right? Easy to see through. But even some Christians were not. They weren't
picking it up.
No.
Really? Yeah.
They weren't catching on at all. Right? But for most people, they ignored it. For that, I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, this is like bad. So I was like, oh, this isn't good. And then the artist that we were originally talking about, I was even making comparisons and saying, oh, this artist
is better than that artist.
Look at the difference. Like, this one's singing about love, the other one's talking about stepping on people. Like, you know, there's such, oh my goodness.
Opposites. And then God was like, they're different sides of the same coin.
Yeah, basically. So pretty much within like a week.
God fact checked you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that he does that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it don't feel good, but you know, if it has to do with your salvation, then you learn to just listen and accept.
Yeah.
And because God, that's what a father does. He looks out for his children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know, like there are certain shows that I don't watch anymore, certain types of movies that I don't watch anymore. Used to love horror and whatnot, but then you know when you start walking in the spiritual realm and being attacked by demons and stuff, like these horror movies seem like a joke. Or I don't want to be living that for real and then sitting down and watching that. That's not entertainment for me.
I think the thing about it is when you know what you know and then you're seeing things that are actually correct, like they're actually
yes, confirming what I know.
Yeah,
don't feel good. It does not feel good.
Yeah, you almost feel like you're partaking in something. Like you're watching a video game. For me, I mostly watch video games. I don't watch horror. But if I'm watching a video, someone's playing a video game, and I see something that is too real, these days I'm like, no.
I can't deal with that.
I can't do it.
I can't deal with that. Like, you know, there's a particular series, not going to call no names, but it kind of is about that dark side of things. And the thing about it is that series kind of tries to make devil look cute. You know, like he's this cute guy, suave guy, looking for love guy, and you know, he's funny and whatnot. And you know, when I saw that being advertised at first, I thought to myself, this is crazy. Like, this is unreal to me that you're selling this as entertainment. You're selling the devil as entertainment. How is it? And you do have Christians watching that, by the way, who have watched that and who have said to me, oh, it's not a big deal. It's just a show. Oh, you know, certain things open certain doorways, and some doorways hard to close. You understand? I feel like a lot of shows, a lot of music, are desensitizing us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
To the devil. Desensitizing us to the enemy and what the enemy's agenda is.
Yeah. Both Western and Eastern stuff as well.
Yeah. It's all of it. And it's just like, this is where we are now. And so, we have to be sober-minded. And sometimes we don't even realize, but I love that God has a way of letting us know. So like for us, it's dreams, which is so crazy cool. And, you know, like I said, we just have to be willing to listen to what God is saying. Now, if God had shown you that dream, and then after about a week or two, you're kind of just over it and gone back to listening to this person, you know, you understand what I'm saying? You would have been wrong for that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you took it seriously enough, like, hey, this is God speaking to you. And when God speaks, and that's one thing I like about you too. You know, you're young, but you're solid in your faith. And so when it is that God says something, you take that very, very, very seriously. Yeah, and even sometimes you're scolding me, like, Mom, what did God tell you about that? You know, and that's really cool. The thing about it is, though, it's that we as Christians really, really need to be mindful of the things that we're inviting into our life. Sometimes some things enter your life and you're wondering, how did we get here? And even in the company that you keep, you have to be so careful. So, anything else you wanted to say about that?
No, I think that's about it. It's just that, you know, media is definitely something you have to be careful with.
Yeah.
Any sort of music, video games,
Movies,
art.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, even art, because like sometimes it's way, way out there, and then it's excused as art.
Yeah, I feel like for both music and visual art are definitely the best at dressing it. Definitely the best at dressing the bad up. That's
Aye. Yeah, painting it with a paintbrush, you know.
Yeah, making it look pretty.
But making it look pretty when it's not. So
yeah,
you know, it's just my hope for you that you continue the way that you're continuing and just listening to God the way you're listening to God. And you know, I'll try to let go a little bit more, give you a little bit more rope. Right? But you know, I'm talking like you're not an adult, you know, but still. I mean, I'm a Jamaican parent, so that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so until next time, gentle people, thank you for sticking with us until the end. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and we'll see you back here soon. Blessings.
Don't sleep, don't sleep, don't sleep on my association. Don't sleep.